Are you a fan of Calvados finished whiskeys, bourbons? I may not even throw like Irishes and Scotch, whatever. Everyone's doing it.
That'd be interesting.
Is the juice worth the squeeze from Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company? Welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. We're going back to the Austin area, Austin, Texas.
We are going back to Austin. So this is coming from a distillery that is also probably one of the bigger YouTube channels, the Whiskey Tribe, the Crowded Barrel Distillery. This is Eve. So this is their bourbon finished in Calvados barrels. Went down to Austin for the Texas Whiskey Festival. Me and my wife went down the day before, so we went to still Austin to grab that bottle and grab lunch, and then we went it's like a half hour like outside.
Is this where you got to like walk the property?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a half hour outside of like downtown Austin area, but they have a tasting room, and it's think like Texas meets Napa Valley like winery type thing. So you kind of walk around. There's a like food truck. You can just kind of hang out, and it's just really super chill. And they're also again one of the bigger whiskey YouTube channels. So I did a flight of a lot of random different whiskeys that they put out. They had just released Smooth Dolphin. They like to name their stuff
really random
differently.
Yes.
They just like.
I don't think of dolphins. When I think of Texas, I don't think of dolphins.
So Smooth Dolphin was their, I think it's like a 6-year-old bourbon, and it's smooth to drink, like a dolphin. Anyway, this Eve, the naming conventions behind this is all related to the Calvados finish. So it is finished in Calvados, which is a apple brandy, French, I believe. Apple brandy.
It is. Yep.
VSOP.
With the idea of Eve and the apple, the Garden of Eden, and Eve.
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist behind this. Is the apple is all related back to Eve and the Garden of Eden. So what do we know about this? The bourbon, really odd timing. So 3 years, 63 days old. It's 119 proof, and it's finished for 3 months and 2 weeks in the Calvados barrels.
That's a short time in a barrel.
This is Bardstown stuff?
It's sourced.
Okay.
Still in
Sourced
Kentucky.
from Bardstown.
I didn't say that. I just said it's sourced.
Oh, okay.
It's sourced from Kentucky. It says on it. Distilled in Kentucky.
They do have a still, but it's not a big enough still to do like a lot of mass production. They can do like 1 or 2 things. So a lot of what they do, and that's how they started. They would source in whiskey, do some crazy finishes to it, release it type stuff. So that was kind of how they started the whole thing.
The nose is a dried apple, like the dried fruit.
Chips, like the chips,
or like the little like what you get in
Trim it.
That's good.
Yes. I'm thinking like as a kid, you got like the little pieces, not the chip, but the little pieces.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I admire your guys' palate.
But it's light. It's not a very strong nose by any means.
No. Even the apple flavor is kind of muted, from what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
I do taste it, but just.
Oh, I get it.
Little crunch of Apple Jacks in there.
The cinnamon note off of apple jack.
Oh, you get the whole apple peel at the end. Oh yeah, like the red delicious apple, at that peel.
See, I'm getting more like
waxy
baked
too.
apples with a lot of like spices added into that and kind of like
I get
baked
your
down
apple,
a little bit.
your Apple Jacks. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Just the aftertaste is just like when your mom would
There
make
is a
apple
waxy.
pie and she would skin it.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, there's a little bit of apple. You want to eat it, and you're like, oh, it's all skin.
Yeah.
No.
There's definitely some waxy skin note in that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Again,
Right, Russ?
Again, your guys' palate is way different than mine.
What do you get?
I get whiskey. That's the first note I get. But
Do you get any apple on the nose or the palate?
I'm just. To me, it's the experience. Like I don't really taste a lot on the back end, which is nice because normally you have like those ones that feel like you just
The
they
lingering
think-
aftertaste.
Yeah, it doesn't really have that much ethanol to me. It has
Okay.
some, but not much.
For 119?
But it doesn't
Yeah.
drink, it
Nice.
doesn't
Yeah,
drink
yeah.
like 119.
Yeah.
That's
drinks
right.
nicely.
I would agree with that. Again, it's the flavor is above
Are
average.
you not getting a little baking spice at all?
Man, the
I mean,
nose
again-
now is like
Cinnamon,
a sliced
maybe
apple.
Maybe a little bit,
rolled in
but
that
again,
cinnamon.
I don't.
Alright.
I,
just.
it tastes like a
My
good.
mom's making apple pie.
Again, I just taste whiskey. Sorry, I love your guys. No, it's just because every time you say a thing, I try to smell it, I try to taste it.
I get the cinnamon, but it's like you just open as a kid, you open that box like Red Hots, where you get that whiff that pops out. Like I get that kind of cinnamon. Like a candy.
Sweet candied cinnamon.
Candied
yeah.
cinnamon.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like baked apples with cinnamon, like all mixed up
Do you
in,
like
in
it?
it.
I like it.
Okay.
Again, I just.
I do too. That's all I want. Yeah, I was like, I'm not. Just do
Now,
you like it or not?
so at some point, I want to do a blind AB between this and the Nelson Brothers Calvados. I want to say the Nelson Brothers is a very different flavor
is. I
profile,
have
way
that.
sweeter and way more apple forward, honestly.
I like this. I like the note. I like the baked
I
goodness
like
of it.
this was
Bready,
my
it's-
favorite out of. So I got a flight of 4 that I bought, and then I got one extra one because I was a Patreon, and this was the one that I just thought
Stood out.
it stood out. It had the most different flavor profiles. There wasn't 4 or 3-year-old whiskey. There's not like a big youth note to it. Some of the other ones are 3-ish years old, and they're a little youthy. They also do, which is great, Will It Distill?
Is that a game?
So they come up with different ideas of things that technically have sugars in them and try to see if it will distill and make a spirit. So as a Patreon member, I get to taste whatever the most
science
recent
experiment?
experiment was.
Okay.
Science experiment. They did, so, they're a bar, like they serve cocktails and stuff like that. So they kept all the juice from 3 months of Luxardo cherry jars and distilled it.
And distill that?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It tasted like,
Dr. Pepper.
no, I think more like cherry lollipop. Like really sweet, but with
Clear? Like
clear,
just a clear?
totally clear, not aged.
That's
But they do that with like all these random things, like, oh, let's try to see if Twinkies will distill, and
I
like
wanna
whatever
do
it
this.
is.
Pineapple juice.
Yeah. So they just do a lot of it experiment. So that was one of the things I got to sample too. That one was really good. Couldn't buy that. They weren't selling
that's
that.
like-
But it was really cool to try. But everything they do there is just like great cocktails. They had wine, which was perfect for my wife. Like she's not a whiskey person at all.
a
So it
plus
was like
for
a
just-
full run bar. Like you had a lot of different options there. They make vodkas and serve them at the bar. Silly Goose is their vodka. They just released and this is very, very recent. They just released a Reposado tequila that they they went down, sourced it from Mexico, brought it back,
Finished it in one of their barrels.
yeah, and apparently it's awesome.
nice.
So they just run a lot of experiments, and I very much appreciate what they're doing with whiskey and for whiskey. Their malts are what they're known for. So they call it a mother of malt or a mom. And they also have a single mom.
There's a few of them out there.
They name.
Do they have a mill?
They do all these. They do all these.
Cougar?
Like the names are generally like to be funny. But that's
Okay.
how they name things.
But they're also trying new things.
But they're always experimenting. They're always doing crazy stuff. They did an Ambarana finish to some stuff. They've just done a lot of really cool things for whiskey and like the whiskey community. And I fully recommend you watch them. If you're watching us and you're not watching them, you're doing something wrong. You should be watching them too.
But don't stop watching us.
Watching them too. Also.
They're
But they
one of
do really cool experimentation.
There's one of the first channels I ever stumbled
me too.
upon.
Well, I mean, the water helped out. I mean, it opened it up, made it to me, it made it a little bit more smooth.
Yeah.
I like that. Again, the flavors, I don't think I'd taste anything new or not new or anything went away,
More
but
candy.
Okay.
I got more candy-ish. in the
okay,
nose.
again, you're
Like it's sweetened up the apple note.
Yeah.
It's not as the spice and the baking that I was getting.
It's a little more warmer.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm
Like a little
getting
more
all those-
bite on the back end with the water.
okay, so you're to to you, it tastes a little bit more harsh, is what you're saying with the water?
No, not harsh. It's just it brings in theory, it brings the proof up.
Okay.
So it drinks hotter. When you go home and have a pour,
technically that's wrong. It didn't bring the proof up when you add water.
I get it.
No, I said
but
it
it's
feels
releasing
like.
more ethanol as you're drinking it.
Yeah,
So every now and then,
smash it
like
right
you're
in
sitting at
your face.
home, we did this early on this channel. Take a decent sip and then aerate it like you'd aerate wine.
Yeah.
Oh.
You will watch that like what seems to be the proof is that like whatever
heat
the
or
bottle
spice
is
or whatever.
Next thing you know, it's
super
hot.
Oh, I know,
spicy.
because you're just sucking down that heat. You guys taught me
You're
that one.
opening up the ethanol.
And you're breathing it
And
in.
you just
Yeah.
bring that in, and it's just woo.
But we tried one at Whiskey Club one time. It was like 160 proof. Like, I don't know.
Obtanium.
Oh, God, that was...
That was
That's my
terrible.
jam.
Oh,
That was
so
out of Canada.
That was Canadian.
Yeah.
that was a tough next day because,
30 years old.
I believe it.
That was the first bottle I ever bought with a hazmat sticker on the side, though. I got feels for that bottle.
Well, this
Light
one
whiskey.
is... I like this one. I would...
Yeah.
I do too. I still got baking spice. I still got the baking notes in there.
Yep.
I still get a little bit of apple, but it's faint. It's good. It changed, evolved. I would like it neat.
What was this price again? Did we ever say that?
We did not, and
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
It wasn't crazy.
200.
No. It wasn't,
Gotta ask,
it wasn't
can't
like
afford
that.
it.
It was like $60-$70.
All right,
It wasn't
that's-
crazy.
He's
That's a
not.
good price.
He's
The
not
other stuff
dropping
you tried,
$200
were
on
they
a bottle when
finished
his wife
as
is
well,
sitting
or
there.
What was
were
that?
the other bottles you tried in the flight, were they finished, or were they just like traditionally?
Two were finished, 3 were not.
Do you remember the other finishes?
One was an Amburana.
Okay.
It was decent, but one of yours was. I was just like,
Sounds
I was
like
like,
a barrel.
what you guys made, whatever, either yours, the Old Forester, or whatever the yours was. I was just like, I like that
I'd have
better.
Hill
I'm
smash
not gonna
you.
buy that one. So,
You never did
I did Heaven Hill and did the Jameson Black Barrel.
that one.
so it was Amburana, this apple one, and there was another. What was the other one? I don't remember what the other one was.
Good pour.
Yeah,
I
thank
can't
you.
believe how
Fun.
young it is,
Fun
and
little
like,
guy.
no youth on this. Like it's
Yeah.
been it's
Just
treated well.
just over 3-year-old.
Yep.
In
Good
63
stuff.
days.
I think across the board here, we're all fans of it.
Yeah.
Anxious to try something else, some of their other finishes.
Who's going to Texas next? Right?
Yeah.
We'll be there, but not
I'll be there at some point. I know that.
You can't buy their stuff out of probably certain states.
Certain states you can.
There's
They
like
are
3
partnered with somebody for shipping. State of Tennessee doesn't let you do that, so not us.
We can get wine here. That's it.
We can get wine and beer delivered. You cannot get spirits.
Thanks for muling this one back.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for going to date
Yeah.
early.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and I'm sure that was a
enjoyed
hard thing for you to do.
I enjoyed a lot of that.
You know,
suffered
turn
for
your
us.
computer off, hop on a plane, get some barbecue and
Oh, that's right. I did.
some bourbon, some whiskeys.
Terry Black Barbecue in Austin, Texas. Hell yes. Hell yes.
Well,
Stay towards the beef side. The pork ribs. The brisket and the beef ribs. Hell yeah. Anyway.
well, again, thank you for taking one for the team and going early.
Oh yeah. It was
I'm sure
hard.
you'll offer to do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
But no, we hope you enjoyed our review of the Eve.
Eve. It's just Eve. Not EVE. Just Eve.
There's a song that goes with that. I forget who sings it, but
Okay.
all right. But no, we hope you enjoyed our review because we enjoyed this pour.
Absolutely.
If you have a favorite out of here, let us know.
Yeah.
Next time the big guy here is down in the Austin area, he'll mule it back.
We'll try. Yes.
Do or do not.
Yeah.
There's no try. Yeah,
There is no
okay,
try.
fine. I will
Come
mule it back
on.
if they still have it. How about
Right,
that?
Okay. Well, again, let us know what your favorite bottle is out of this distillery. We'd love to bring it back
Try some other
here
stuff.
and do it on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we hope you enjoy our review. As always, we're still trying to grow this channel. We'd encourage you to hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
And right up here, I'll link the Nelson Brothers Calvados because I think that's the only other Calvados finished one we've done. So I'll link that up. You can start to see how we talked about it very differently, in my opinion. But we're gonna do this blind. It'll be good.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
All right.
Excellent.
Thanks for watching.
See you next episode.
Hey, Russ, thanks for
Oh
joining.
yeah, and again, thank you for having me, guys. Again. I'm one of the 30 people that watch the show, so
Every once in a while it goes to more than 30.
Come on. Again, regular watcher, so first time, long time watcher, first time visiting. So appreciate it, guys.
All right, thanks for watching.
All right,
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.